everyone. You know what time it is. It's Wednesday at More-ish than 8. More-ish than 8. We're here tonight at More-ish than 8. How are you tonight? What is happening in your world? Tell me what you are grateful for tonight. What are you grateful for? I am grateful for all of you. You guys have been amazing today, getting out there and telling the Federal Reserve that this matters. You guys have been amazing. I can't tell you how amazing you have been. Hey, Adele and Dazzle, I just got another. Just as I'm coming up tonight, they contacted me again. It's been crazy today. Crazy. You know, you guys are amazing. I am so happy with you. So proud of you. So proud of you for doing this. Uh-oh, my Resale World coaster fell off. How y'all doing tonight? Dazzle, it's treat time. Did I say Dazzle, it's treat time? I said hello to Adele, I think, but I did not say Dazzle, it's treat time. Have a treat, Dazzle. You have been busy today. Reminding everybody, to tell the Federal Reserve what you think. Tell us what you think. Our friends at the National Retail Federation are so proud of you guys. So proud of you and all the great work you've been doing. It is truly humbling and amazing that you have gotten out there and done it. Jerome is like, what's up with resale? Why is resale hot? He's like, I've read some reports that resale is a big business. I would never forget poor Dazzle. Never forget poor Dazzle. Dazzle will have to come to the next conference so that Dazzle knows what it's treat time. We can't leave Dazzle behind. It is good to be here tonight. It is great to have you guys here. You know what day it is? It's Hump Day. And you're getting us over the hump. Our members are the best. It has been amazing today. I mean, when they asked me to do this and everything, they, you know, it really, they didn't, well, they knew what they were getting. They knew what they were getting. But I didn't think we would accomplish all that we have accomplished. I didn't think we would accomplish all that we've accomplished today with it. I mean, even, you know, midday when I was getting calls about it, and stuff. And when the banks wanted to know who this guy is, I'm like, you know, that's a little nervous. Hey, Kitty, how are you? It is great to have you here live. Thank you for joining us live. How was your day? What are you grateful for? And people were out shopping today, so hey, that's a good thing. It was hotter than heck here. Hotter than heck. When I had Nana out on the walk today, it was hotter than heck. We was 90 something, but she did it. She did that whole, she did a quarter-mile circuit. Flat, nice. I was proud of her. So it was good to see her out there doing that. And it is great to have you all here tonight. It is here. Well, I'm working on that too, you know, working on that too. And really, some of our friends in government would argue that they need part of the next bill, the $3.5 trillion budget, to get people back to work. And really, that has to do with childcare. And that is something that is sitting in the other budget bill. And part of that is true. You need schools open. You need childcare. You need consistency in people's lives to get the female workforce back to work. To get the female workforce back to work. I heard this recently in an economic discussion, and I thought it was very interesting. Hey, I'm going to hold that thought. Let me get started with the Good Morning, Good Night book before I go down too much of a rabbit hole here. The Good Morning, Good Night book is how we start this program every night. Every night is how we start this program. Tonight is no different. Tonight we are on page 102. 102. Good morning. Your pace today. No one else's. You can't be rushed. You can't be slowed down. I don't know about that with the way my day has been, but hey, I am glad to have that. So take this quote for what it is. It was in an economic discussion. It was an economic discussion, and you can decide where you fall on it. But it was a discussion of world economics and the pandemic, and in relation to and comparing the United States to other countries. Hey, everybody! You know what? We're broadcasting tonight on both Facebook and YouTube. Any question? If you have any problems with Facebook, hop on over to YouTube. Cassandra's got the link in the show comments. And the economic discussion was about social safety nets that other countries in the world have, developed countries in the world. And it was basically the short answer to this was that the rest of the world has a social safety net. Countries around the world have a social safety net to protect their citizens and their society and their families from falling through the cracks. And the United States has women and really mothers. It is delving further into it because they're the ones that pick up all the slack. And they are the social safety net. And there's a lot to that. There's a lot to unpack there, but we have to get the child care figured out in this country. And that would help. And especially when you think about, for most of you, for most of the stores that are tuning in tonight, women are a primary part of your workforce. But if they don't have some place for their children to go, if there's no safety net for the children, there's no place for them to go. So that becomes the underlying issue. Ooh, where's my to-do list for tonight? There's my to-do list. There's my to-do list, my things to talk about. Oh, I like this quote from Simon tonight. Our quote, "Hey, Michelle, how are you? I trolled you on Monday Night Live. On Monday Night Live, you had your new cup or something. Your new cup on there. Your cup runneth over." I don't know. But it was, I mean, I digress. All right. Our quote from Simon tonight is, "Trust is like love. Both parties have to feel it before it really exists." Trust is like love. Both parties have to feel it before it really exists. Having a good cup is important, Michelle. I am very big on that. I recently got a new water cup, traveling water cup that I walk around with because I switched from my coffee to my water. And because of our lack of conference, my conference one was leaking on me. So I needed a new one. My conference water cup was leaking on me, and I needed a new one. And it took me a while to find one, one that you like to hold and that'll keep your thing, fits in your cup holders right. I mean, these are important things. And we found one that works. And then I told Cassandra, while they still make it, we better rush out and buy another one. So I have two. Hey, Kelly, great to have you here. Great to have you here. Well, we're going to work on getting you better applicants here, Kitty. We are moving down our hiring talk tonight. And it's good that Michelle is here tonight for date night. We are talking about dating tonight. So I'm going to get to that in just 2 seconds. There's a couple other things I want to let you know. While shopping traffic is up and picking up pace in most parts of the country, the one area that it is still down dramatically down is in downtown shopping districts. Downtown shopping traffic is still 40% lower than it was in 2019. And that's not hard to understand. That's not hard to figure out. I mean, businesses haven't reopened. I mean, the offices haven't reopened. And so that isn't a real hard stretch to understand, but it shows you how bad that is, and where the disconnect is in that. Hopefully, as some offices start to reopen, and we're still hearing a lot in the northern states that businesses are going to reopen their offices this fall, maybe in October, September, but aren't waiting till next year. Just a quick variant thing, because I was really pushed on this today. I think my days all meld together like yours do. I think it was today that I was really pushed on COVID and where do I think, like I've got a crystal ball, like I got to look into my crystal ball and say, what will COVID be this fall? What will COVID be this fall? And as I looked into my crystal ball, as I gazed into my crystal ball, as I gazed into it, I gazed into my crystal ball. I said that, it's going to be different. That sounds like a lame answer, I know. Your crystal ball says, what is COVID going to be this fall? Different. Well, what I mean by different is we're not going to have the same narrative we have now. I don't know that we're directly going to be talking about Delta. I don't necessarily think that it's going to be better, but I don't think it's going to be worse, the overall talk about COVID. So again, limit your news content, people, because if you limit your news content, your mind is in a better place to move forward. Your mind, it all starts up here. The engines all get going up here. And if your mind is in a better place, when you look into the crystal ball, okay, when you look into it, if your mind is in a better place, you see better things. You see better outcomes. And I want you to see and feel better outcomes. You don't see that by trolling CNN all day. You don't see that by the death scroll on Facebook. It does not happen. It does not happen. But it does happen when you start with positive affirmations in your head. When you start with positive thoughts up there, the rest of the day moves forward in a positive way. The rest of the week moves forward and your business moves forward. You keep on keeping on, people. Keep on keeping on. And just in case you thought that, retail is dead, again, another highlight from Party City. They're going through major renovations of their existing stores. They are investing in their brick and mortar stores, creating a better thing, what they're calling their next gen stores. In rehabbing existing stores and 23 new store openings. Okay. And part of what they're doing is that and this is interesting, and the effects of it is interesting. Lower heights, better signage, and a format that allows the store to carry roughly $100,000 less in inventory while still generating higher sales. That is huge. That is huge. Couple other quick updates. Oregon is going to restore a statewide mask mandate. This next thing, you will see this happen elsewhere, and it's coming, people. Again, in the push for vaccinations. Okay, in Germany, they will stop offering free COVID tests to adults who choose not to get vaccinated. No COVID test for you if you refuse to get vaccinated. The city of Los Angeles tonight is considering an ordinance to require all individuals to have received at least one dose of vaccine to enter indoor spaces, including restaurants, bars, retail establishments, offices, etc. Pennsylvania announced a new requirement that face coverings must be worn while indoors at all businesses, unless that business has instituted a vaccine requirement in place of it. And in Texas, of all places, Dallas County will institute a face covering requirement for all individuals while indoors at public places. And retailers and restaurants must have a health and safety plan with the mandate for all employees and customers to wear a face covering. And the language provided by Dallas County must be posted on store signage. This is after they sued the governor of Texas on his order prohibiting face mask orders. And just so that you're watching it, I've always told you since the beginning of this, keep an eye on your bank accounts. Now I'm telling you to remind you to keep an eye on your credit cards. And why am I telling you to keep an eye on your credit cards? Because the credit card offers are back, people. They are back in full force, and they are there to get you to rack up debt. So, but what's more that is back than increased limits or more credit card junk mail in your mail is the credit cards are now mailing out live balance transfer checks again. Live balance transfer checks, okay, that are on your account. These are just checks that can be easily made out and cashed and not get noticed for weeks and months. So keep an eye on that. And shred them when you get them in the mail. Just keep an eye on it. So that is important. And in the line of useless or weird laws that you shake your head and you say, really, this is a federal offense? Literally, this is a federal offense? Yes, it is. It is a federal offense. It is a federal offense to claim that you are a member of 4-H if you are not a member of 4-H. Okay? If you say you are a member of 4-H, you better be a member of 4-H, or that is a federal offense. It is literally a federal offense that you can be charged with a federal crime for. I'm glad Discover was on top of that, Kitty, and called you that to let you know your card was compromised. There's a lot of protections in place these days, but now that the day of the live check, those all went away with COVID. The credit card offers went away. Credit card companies lowered rates, lowered credit limits. They didn't lower your interest rate. They lowered credit limits. And they, weren't sending out balance transfer checks, but they are again, and they're sending out live checks. So keep an eye on that because I don't want you to get compromised. Again, it's important to keep an eye on your overall finances. And it's easy to get distracted from that and forget to do that, but it's an important thing for your business. Okay, now you are okay. Can I remind you? Have I reminded you yet to click the link at the top to go tell the Federal Reserve that having choice in processing your cards online matters? If you have not done that, today is the last day. The link's up at the top, all the way at the top. I got it in the announcement that it's Wednesday. It's all over the Nards private Facebook group. I've shared it out a million times. It only takes 1 minute. 1 minute, and I know so many of you have already done it. Enough that the Federal Reserve is asking, what's up with resale? What's up with resale? You've got the questions I have gotten asked this afternoon and been told about, and that big banks are trolling me, trying their advocacy departments that get their banks to do things is like, who is this guy? Just Neil. But I know that so many of you have already done it. Just keep it up. If you have not done it, make sure you do it. Let's get back to, oops, I forgot our friends at the SBA. Our friends at the SBA, and one more second before hiring, then I will go back to hiring. Our friends at the SBA are working very hard to clear the backlog of idle loan increase. It's really hard to clear the entire backlog of that this month. So if you are waiting on an idle loan increase or an original idle application, the SBA is working hard on that. And again, they are working on getting the statutory limit lifted to $2 million. I will keep you updated on that. Resale is a force to be reckoned with, and you guys are amazing. You know, I mean, we can have Jay Powell down to Resale Island, and we can update him on all the important issues. We can update Jay Powell on all the important issues. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Okay. So let's get back to hiring. Because I hear that's why so many people showed up tonight. So you've been wondering how I'm going to work dating into this. And I know some of you have gone on dates. Some of you have swiped. I don't even know which direction's good or bad. This is how out of touch I am on dating. Is it you swipe right is good, left is bad, or the other way around? Okay. But, you know, when you're dating, and even if you're dating back in my day, okay, back in the olden days when we dated, it's all bad. Don't swipe. No swiping. So Dora the Explorer, no swiping, swiper. No swiping, swiper. When somebody wants to go out with you, so if somebody said, "Hey, Michelle, I'd like to go out with you," a common first step would be to say, "Hey, Michelle, would you love to meet for coffee? Would you like to meet for coffee?" And that's sort of the safe date. That's sort of the safe date. That's sort of the, okay, we can meet at the Starbucks or the local coffee house. Okay, we can meet at the local coffee house. And, you know, that's a limited time. You know, there's an out on that. It's not a whole meal. I don't have to wait for a waitress in many of those coffee houses. Okay. It is, I don't have to wait for a check. So I can make a run for it. If this isn't going well, you know, we don't have coffee again. Okay? We don't have to have coffee again. That doesn't mean you'll never have coffee again, but you don't have to have coffee again. If this was a good first date for coffee, a natural evolution for that might be, hey, I really enjoyed starting to get to know you. I really enjoyed it. Let's have lunch. Lunch. Again, safe. Lunch is safe. You know, it's an easy out. I've got to get back to the store. I got to get back to work. Okay. It's a safe. It's a time limited. It's safe. Okay. It is very safe. Usually by lunch. Okay. You know, coffee might have been kind of like guessing. Well, you know, he doesn't seem like a weirdo. He doesn't seem like a stalker. You know, I didn't see you know, any weapons on him or anything. You know, he seemed to dress professionally. He looked cool. You know, I'll have lunch with him. That's good. You know, I want to know more. I'm gonna have lunch with him. So it was safe to have lunch. It was safe to have lunch because lunch again is limited. It's limited, even with Michelle's stories that would freak us all out. You know, it's like being a student today. I wouldn't want to be growing up. I don't know that I'd want to be growing up right now. It's such with the internet and everything else. It's just so scary. I certainly am glad that my only dates are with Cassandra, and that works for me. That my dates are with the love of my life, and that I have safe dates now. I don't have to worry about being out there in the world. So I feel for you, Michelle. But really, that's not very different than, somebody applying to work for you. Okay, that first interview, that first meeting oftentimes is like, having coffee. And sometimes that first meeting is just a phone interview, a phone touch, okay, where you're at it and you're trying to relate and you're trying to see, do I want to meet this person? Do I want to meet this person and know more about them? And that isn't really any different than saying, okay, I had coffee with this person, now I want to have lunch with them. That doesn't mean it won't go south at lunch. Michelle knows many times it can. It can go way south at lunch, way south. Okay? But it can also be really good. You could have a good lunch date. Okay? And if you had a good lunch date, you might be willing to have dinner. You might even be willing to get picked up by this person. Okay, have them drive and pick you up. Maybe, again, still at a safe place. They might pick you up at the store and drop you back off at the store, but so they don't know where you live. But you might be willing, if lunch went well, you might be like, oh yeah, dinner, where there isn't a hard stop, where there isn't an ending. Okay? And lunch is, again, that very easy thing as part of the interview process, okay? As translating dating back to interviewing, okay? If it's not working, it's not working, okay? But lunch has got a very limited time frame. You've got a very narrow time frame because you've got other commitments. By the time you commit to dinner, when you commit to dinner, okay, you are all in. You're like, ooh, I like the way he wears his collar up. I like that. His hair, it's styling. Okay? It is styling. Okay? And it is working. Okay? It is working. And in hiring, okay, you're not getting them to dinner. By the time if lunch worked, the idea of dinner is a commitment to this person, that they could be a winning part of your team, that they are a winning part of your team. Okay? And that's really important. Is this person a winning part of your team? Could this person be a winning part of your team? So, and I know for some of you, you're like, yeah, Neil, get on with it. Some of you are like, where are you going with this? Where are you going? Coffee is guessing, lunch is a maybe. Dinner, something about them, right? I mean, you want to be, you're making a commitment here at the time you go to dinner. And so let's think about that for a second. Let's step back. No matter how much you do in the interview process, okay, and I know that I'm a little bit backwards because I haven't talked about the advertising process to get somebody to interview, but I'm going to come to that. That's tomorrow night. But the hiring process, much like dating, okay, that first contact, that first interaction, it made you know enough, guess enough that you wanted a second interaction. Okay. And even sometimes after the third one, like dinner, okay, that doesn't mean you're going to have the best employee. Doesn't mean you're going to have the best relationship. And this what you've all heard: hire slow, fire, hire slow. You've all heard that before. Take your time hiring. And what I'm going to suggest to you is a lot like dating. Hiring is guessing. Oh, they seemed really nice. I mean, he was really sweet when I talked to him on the phone, everything. This person that came in for the interview was great. Hiring, when you're doing, hiring for all the people you have hired for your business, ultimately, hiring is guessing. Okay? Hiring is guessing. You don't know for sure. You don't know anything. Okay? You've done your best guess. And if hiring is guessing, firing is knowing. Hiring is guessing, firing is knowing. Think about that for a minute. Think about that for a minute. Hiring's for all that we do, for all that you do, all that you work on, okay, in doing that, in trying to, in all your best laid plans, okay, you've taken a long time to hire somebody, you've taken a short time, okay, you check their pulse, checking your pulse, got a good pulse rate, good steady pulse. Okay, for all your hiring, all the stuff you do for it, okay, hiring is guessing, firing is knowing. So rather than the old adage, hire slow, fire, I suggest to you that you should hire fast and fire faster. Think about that. If hiring is guessing and firing is knowing, shouldn't you hire fast and fire faster? Hire fast, fire faster. And you guys suck at that, okay? The fire faster. We all suck. I mean, that is a small business problem, is the fire faster. Okay, but that is what I am encouraging you to do. Okay, because hiring is guessing and firing is knowing. Okay, for all that you do. I mean, that's why you see ads. Apply today, work tomorrow. Apply today, start work tomorrow. Okay, well, those people are throwing paint at it. Okay, and you aren't that bad. Well, it depends on how you, what your process is beyond that, what you do with the person beyond that. It isn't hire fast and let them go amok. Okay, it isn't hire fast and let them run amok. It is understanding the soul you are hiring and what role you are putting them in. It goes back to the roles that we've talked about. Okay, it is not about Susie. It is not about Sally. It is about the role that they fill in your business. And if you have defined that role, okay, you can hire fast and fire faster. Okay, because part of it is changing your mindset around the whole hiring process. Changing your mindset around the whole hiring process. And it is like a light bulb at times that goes off and says, oh, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, hiring is guessing, is knowing. Because you, on the same token that you can talk about that you've been burned when you've hired fast, you've been burned when you took forever to hire. Okay, that you had multiple interviews and they met with different people within your company and they still flamed out on you. Okay? But a hire fast and fire faster mentality will help get you to where you need to be as a company. It will help get you where you want to be. What will also help you get there is a different mindset in how you advertise your job. And we're going to cover that tomorrow night. We're going to cover a different mindset. We're going to give you a different mindset in how you advertise your jobs that will get you a different applicant. All right. Good job, Michelle. I like that. You're telling your manager to get the people in the right seat on the bus. That's right. You want them to wear their cape. You don't want them to be right next to their kryptonite. You want them to be able to shine. I mean, it's one of the things. Anybody that'll tell you that I've met with one-on-one will tell you I ask about, we go right down the whole list of staff. And I'm like, okay, what is his superpower? What is Sally's superpower? What is Jane's superpower? Well, limiting what you do. Okay, it is not spend forever on everything. Okay, you guys like to dump the whole kitchen sink on them. And if you smiled all day, you can give them a key by the end of the day. That is not getting them to focus or fulfill their. That is not to focus or fulfill their roles. We can delve deeper. Deeper. Okay. This isn't giving them a fire hose. This isn't feed them a fire hose. Most of the time, you got to slow down a little bit once they're on their team. Okay. Show them the path. Part of having the role is show path. Thing made me laugh out loud. In the olden days, I mean, I mean, it's going to make it sound bad. In Big Box Retail, it was like, okay, well, they get promoted to head cashier if they sleep with the manager, and then they can get a key to this. They can become assistant manager for doing this. I mean, but you guys got to get the fire hose. So often when I'm meeting with stores one-on-one, they just want to get out the whole fire hose. You can't do that. They are not you. They are not you. You're crazy. You're okay. You are the crazy entrepreneur, and I love you for it. They're not. They are mere mortals. Muggles even. Muggles they are. Mere just things that has made. Heard this story before. Work at the pharmacy. Well, in high school, I wrote this English paper. Okay, for English. It was for English. And I don't remember what the rules of the assignment were, but I followed it. Okay. And I wrote this whole paper on how everyone sucked. Okay, they all suck. His whole staff sucked. I wrote this whole paper on it. And then just to make my point, I didn't change any of the names to protect them or myself, because that would have been too bright a thing for a teenage boy to do. Okay, but I wrote this whole thing on it, and I didn't change any of the names. And that would have been bad enough. That would have been bad enough. But then I went to work at my father's store, and then that English paper fell out of my backpack. My father did not appreciate that I followed all the rules for the English paper, and I got an A on the paper. I got a red behind from the whooping that I took from my father, and also told my father's favorite saying is, "You will never be director of personnel. You will." I had no people. I am, and I have this team with Cassandra, and we have all these people, here I am giving you guys advice on hiring and employee management as not director of personnel, just so that I could tell my father that, hey, I proved you wrong, Dad. I proved you wrong. Take that. So did my father win or did I win? Did my father because he fixed me? Okay, or did I win because you told me I couldn't do this, Dad? But you guys better. You guys will be better. Okay, and you will be better leader company. You'll be company. You're on your way. You are on your way to be better leaders for your company. You know what else you're on the way to do? This video and everything I talk about. This video and everything I talk about goes over to narts.org/resale strong by noon the next day. Noon, I tell you. It's all over there. All the links, all the videos, including a direct link to the YouTube channel alone running this store where you can like, comment. Oh, yes. You can ring that bell. Ring that bell. You know when a new one drops. You can also share with all your friends in business, the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. We're going to share it with everybody so we can help everybody make it across the finish line. I'm here every night in the Narts private Facebook group and streaming on YouTube every night at more 8 than it. More, but if you have a question in between, know that you can just email me, Neil, NECIstores.com. NEIL@ECIstores.com. You think the banks would be able to find me? They can just email me, the big banks. Tell the big banks, tell the Federal Reserve, you want to keep money in your community. Money in your community. Money, people. Money in your community. You have not done the call to action link. Do it before midnight, before the clock strikes 12. Jerome Powell is waiting. Jerome is waiting. Buy resellers. It matters because it keeps money in your community. People, that's why it matters. It only takes a minute. Click through and do it. The call to actions at the top over the internet. Just click and do it. Thank you. We start this program every night with the Good Morning, Good Night book. The Good Morning, Good book is how we start this program every night. Tonight, we're on page 102. 102, if you're following along in the book. Good morning. Your pace today. No one else's. You can't be rushed. You can't be slowed down. Our good night tonight is good night. Your pace in this life. No one else's. You can't be rushed. You can't be slowed down. There you go, folks. There's your graphics. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Neil Abramson. I do like a good party, a wedding, a bar mitzvah even. We will party again. Maybe we'll celebrate when the Fed gives us puts this rule into effect. Yeah, we'll celebrate with you, Jerome. We'll invite you down to Resale Island. Yes, we will. Yes, we will. We'll invite you to Resale Island. You get this through. We will party again in person. And when we do, I'm going to be there with you. Jerome, who knows? Maybe. But know this, that you, but most importantly you, yes, you're not alone running this store. It's time for dessert, everybody. Have a great night. And applications tomorrow, how we have a job ad tomorrow night.